Today, I want to talk to you about the decision. Today, a decision means that you have to decide which God you're going to choose. The God of righteousness, justice, and freedom. Or are you going to choose that old satanic God? Now, there's a day of decision, which means the righteous and the unrighteous must be separated. Or I should say, the wicked and the righteous. Now, thinking that you have loan can be the greatest mistake that people make. We see in the day of Noah and the days of Lot, so shall it be in the day of the Son of Man. You know, white folks, they haven't even knowledge today of what they've been doing to you. See, they haven't even acknowledged of what they did to your fathers, or what they doing to you, or what they plan against your future. But God knows their plans, their thoughts, and why he knew them on this earth. He plans the destruction. You know, there was a blind man that Jesus needed to see. And the disciple says, "Look, Master, who did sin? Did this man or his parents?" Jesus says, neither nor did his parents. You see, this work of God will be made manifest. See, the blind man, he never got to see what was the day like. He never got to see his mother. You know, that sun represent freedom. You know, the moon represent justice. And the stars represent equality. So sisters, how should you know? Because if you knew, and you knew how your mother would have dressed you, not in the pilgrim house of the prostitute, but if you knew who your real mother was, beyond the Jordan of Jerusalem, then you will be clothed in a decent dress. So it was the blind man that Jesus needed to see. So the Pharisee says, well, he's a wicked man. But the blind man says, well, I'm in a man named Jesus. And you know, the Pharisees, the scribes, got to a point. They went to the parents. Well, hey, is this your son? Was he born blind? Well, how could he see? Who made him see? See, my brothers and sisters, when these people start inviting me to their meetings in their church, he would say, well, I think he's a wicked man. Nah, he's antisocial. Nah, he's anti-Semitic. You mean in a Pope of Jesus Christ? See, that's the way they handle Jesus. But that man's a sinner. See, but it was the blind man that was wise. And so the blind man says, well, whether he's a sinner or not, you know. But as one thing as I do know is, as once I was born blind, now I see. See, your people was born blind from birth, but they just needed the voice of the Messiah. So we have the day of decision. And the days of decision, the Holy Quran, chapter 78, verse 2, of the tremendous announcement. The day of decision only means that the black man must be resurrected from the time that he must rise from a mental death. We are now living in a time when we must decide on what shall we do. It is a very important that we arrive at a solution, come to divine agreement. You black men of America are holding back your decision. You are waiting because of the people who have brought this day of decision to us by the way of rule. Their rule is in a way of injustice. Now, the God of justice is before us. We must decide upon whether or not we accept a change of rulers, remain under the present rule that is passing from the scene. We must decide rightly in order to relieve the people of pressure, of injustice. Let our decision be for the benefits of our present and our future generation. We have no objection to that person who makes up his mind to remain what he's already in. However, this announcement of great importance is laid before you and me, so that we may come to some kind of decision, agreement on what we shall do about the truth of this announcement. The announcement is the truth. It is asking us to decide on whether or not we are going to accept the truth, remain in falsehood. It is called the day of decision. Decide this day which God you should serve. The God of freedom, justice, and equality, or the same old wicked God who Allah God is here to bring an end to. The wicked ruler veiled the eyes of the people with falsehood, so that the people may take falsehood for truth and truth for falsehood. This is what the Bible and Holy Quran teach us. All important announcements made by the prophet, from Moses to the present day. The enemy of truth had deceived the people and made the people think that they were listening to falsehood. They made the people think that the prophet and his God was too weak to prevail over falsehood with truth. What is said here in his writing is directed to the black man in America. He's the real one who must decide on whether or not to remain in what he is in or accept a better world that is ruled by the God of freedom, justice, and equality. My black brothers, I want you to know that you are in a pitiful condition here in this day in which the announcement is being made to you to make up your mind about what you are going to do. In plain words, I wish to write here and tell you that you do not have a long time in which to decide on what you want to do. Thinking that you have a long time to decide is a mistake that people made in the past. Noah's people and Lot's people were the losers for ignoring the announcement from these worthy prophets. They waited, for they thought that what they had was going to continue to be. We here in America do not have to wait and see, for America is falling up under divine chastisement and destruction is taking place before your and my eyes. Also, the Bible and Holy Quran prophesied it are these days and what is going on. These days are the days of judgment of Allah, God, against the wicked. To see more may mean the end of your life and my life, as it was with the people of Noah and Lot, who waited to see more. They could not come to a decisive point of agreement. They waited, and maybe you too will wait. To wait for the truth to be fulfilled means that we will suffer the consequences of the truth for not accepting the truth. The days of decisions, as there was opponents of the prophet in the past, we have opponents of the prophets in this modern time. With all of the warnings that was given before these days, we can make our decisions so easily. Remember, the people of Noah had no prophets nor scriptures before Noah. Again, remember, even as late as the time of Moses, the people of Moses, the Israelites, had no previous scriptures before Moses. You black brothers are better off. You have all of the scriptures that was given to the prophet throughout the whole 6,000 years of the white man on the planet Earth. And then you will be so foolish as to delay in making a good decision till you see something happen. As the Holy Quran and Bible teach us, till you see the angels coming in a cloud of heaven before you make up your mind. But still, you probably will reject that. Surely will not come in a cloud of heaven. But as the Holy Quran teaches you, it would not be a good day for you who have waited for such time. An angel come in a cloud of heaven. They will not be coming to do anything like preaching or giving you further knowledge. It is prophesied that on the day of judgment, the angel will come to execute judgment on you for not believing, to save those who do believe. The preachers, the messengers, is the first to be judged. Then the angels come to execute judgment on those who did not believe the message. The angels in the time of Lot are a good warning to you today. Those people was lost. Angels came to execute judgment on opponents and disbelievers of Lot in the city of the plain where he was living. The day of decision only means the resurrection and judgment of the present world. And Jesus prophesied it as it was in the days of Noah, Abraham, and Lot, so will be today. It was eating, drinking, having a good old time, as they call it. But it's a wicked time. The history teaches us that by waiting, there was the losers. But yet, it will be the same today. It is the same, for it's going on now. You are rejecting this truth. You are accepting falsehood instead. Naturally, the enemy of truth is angry with the bearers of truth. Because by nature, the enemy was not made of truth. He was made of falsehood. But again, the Bible teaches that whosoever believes, the same shall be saved. This is true, whether he is white or black. If a white man, a woman, boy, or girl believe, even though by nature they are not the real righteous, faith will get them out of hell that Allah God threatened this world with. And a time will be prolonged. I'm sure that you know this. They also know this. A remnant of them will escape if they have the faith in Allah, God, and his religion, Islam. And Jesus prophesied it in the Bible. They even know an enemy give one of his least one, a believer, a drink of water, and that being an act of goodness, God would not deprive that act of goodness of its reward. Make up your mind. Come to a right decision. I warn you. When shall you see all things? Jesus prophesies, then we see the fulfillment. The prophecy of this time, then we shall know by such acts of the people, strange actions that we had never witnessed before, carry on by the people, know that the end is near, even at the door. The Bible prophesies in Daniel and Matthew, saying that this is a time that man has never seen before, and man will never see such time again after this time. Strange happening. The prophecy of Jesus says that parents will be against children. Children will be against parents. Do you not see these things being fulfilled today, right in our eyes? Not only parents against children, children are against parents. The parents are murdering their children, and children are murdering their parents. In some families, the parents kill their children, and then they commit suicide. This is going on today in this old USA, where the gospel of Jesus is preached every hour of the day somewhere in the land. In this time in which we are living, there is no respect for dignity. The president leaving the country to travel far to meet with rulers of foreign countries to discuss the strange things that are happening and the strange things that will happen between nations. The beautiful and rich country of America, to which many people of Europe and Asia migrated, seeking refuge in this country, as the prophecy is now coming into fulfillment. In that day and time, everyone will begin to go away from America instead of coming to America. As Revelation Bible teaches us of the prophecy that they will stand far off and see the fire of her, America, burning, and for fear of it, they will lift up their hands and their voices. America trades is cut off, and all of her delicate, delicious things that she used to have in trades. It is all gone in 1 hour, one day. It came to pass here in the Western Hemisphere. The most wicked people who ever lived on the earth are in the Western Hemisphere. As the Bible teaches us, that God says that to him, this is like Solomon and Gomorrah. He allowed God, he did say that the wickedness of the day of Noah and his people, and Lot and his people, the Solomonites, was no more than child's play compared to this wickedness of today. For they were highly educated. They are scientists and making wickedness for themselves. Day and night, up and down the streets, people are just killing, murdering each other. We do not know very much about what is going on in Europe, but we do see it right here in the city of Chicago, Illinois. The radio and the television announced to the public that murdering, killing are taking place continually. When shall we see all things? Today, there is great disrespect of one another. Mother and her daughters are walking the streets in shame to the public or decent-minded people. They are throwing their clothes aside from their bodies, trying to keep nothing covered but their shame. And some bury, cover their shame, as it was in the days of Noah and Lot. So shall it be in the days of the coming of the Son of Man. The Son of Man comes to judge man and mankind. The days have come. As Daniel prophesies, the Bible, Daniel 9:26 and 27. Until the end of the war, desolation are determined. And for the overspreading of abomination, he shall make it desolate, even until the consummation that are determined shall be poured upon the desolate. Just think about it at the end of the war, desolation. So that put an end to the hope of those who expect to see a great boost of prosperity after the war. In the days of Noah, the children of the Stalamites came out happy that morning, and that was the end. They saw a cloud making up. They just considered that it was a regular rain cloud, but that was the end. In the Bible prophecy of Jesus, Matthew 24:38, 39, for as in the days that was before the flood, there was eating, drinking, marrying, and giving in marriage, until that day that Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. In the time of Noah, the people of Noah was having parties, as you are doing today, and that day was the end. In the time of Solomon and Gomorrah, they were so wicked that they was willing to go to war with the angels in the house of Lot. The Solomonites attacked the angels of God, who had power to destroy the Solomonites almost instantly. The Solomonites warned that they had been watching the angel visit the house of Lot. A terrible time is gradually approaching upon us, A time so terrible until it will make children's grave hair. The Holy Quran teach us. The Bible teach us that it will be a time never witnessed it by man, and there will be such time in the hereafter. It is a great time. Day and night storms are coming in the country, and it's storming day and night. Holy Quran prophesies of disaster one right after another. This we are witnessing with our own eyes. O America, O America, where shall you flee? Holy Quran teaches us, black men, to take refuge in Allah. People laugh at you if you invite them to do righteousness. They make mock of you doing right. So did the people in Noah, Lot, as it is said, so beautiful in Jesus' prophecy. And so shall it be in the days of the coming of the Son of Man. When shall you see all things that you now see, know that is here? We are living in the end. My black people, I said, fly to Allah and God for refuge and come follow me. I may look weak, but through me you will find refuge in Allah. The judgment near. Everywhere that we look and everything that we can think about marks the end of this world. There never was a time in the history of the United States of America that the president goes out to try to visit the heads of all other nations that seem to be somewhat his equal. He is like a criminal who have committed a crime and hope for mercy from those who have committed the crime against. We cannot escape our doom when it comes to teaching the Holy Quran and the Bible. They showed no mercy at all to the black slave. They treated the black slave worse than any human being have ever been treated. They continue to do so in the face of divine judgment. To remind you of the parable of the rich man and the poor man. As long as the rich man enjoys luxury, cares nothing about luxury for his slave Lazarus. Then at last the rich man flew into poverty, and he was unable to get help even for himself. The Bible says of the poor black slave that none helped them. Now the rich man gets in the place of his one slave. The rich man can witness how it feels to be a poor man. The parable said at last the rich man dies. In hell he lifted up his eyes. He saw a slave in a blossom of Abraham in the heaven that the slave had been promised that he would get into. It was such a beautiful heaven that the poor slave was lolling around in. The rich man cried out to the slave to share hell with him. He asked the slave to bring him a drop of water in hell. He knew that if the slave tried to get to hell with a drop of water, the slave would never get to heaven. The rich man will be happy if he receive a drop of water to ease his pain and torment. But if the slave could not come to him with a drop of water and go to some of the rich man's brother, who the rich man knew was bound to get a taste of the same hell that the rich man was in. The rich man says, Father Abraham, if you will not let Lazarus come to me, then send him to my brothers in words to say they are bound to get hell too. So I said to you, the time is not far off. This parable is now in the working. I said to you, my black brothers, Lazarus tried to stay in a blossom Abraham. because no man came to us. As the Bible teaches us, no man came to the poor Lazarus. No one aided him. I have been begging for help to borrow money, saying that we will give the extreme interest. No one have come to our aid yet. The white man have tried to prevent everyone who would give us a little help. So Allah God came to help us from ourselves. May Allah God bless us to do His will and bless us to please Him. For Allah God's only help that we have. I do not care what interest we offer. No one wants to loan us. They know that we are well worth the loan, but they do not want us to be helped it. They figure that we are going too fast as it is. But oh rich man, your days have come. Your fall has come, and no one will help you. They do not want to come near. They see the divine destruction licking inside about you on all sides. They do not want to get near to you. See, Europe is standing far. Will not come near. She does not want anything of you. You will see your doom. She does not want any herself. Whom to the white slave master in hell he lift up his eyes. The worst is yet to come. According to the radio and television, according to the individuals' conversation, and according to the conversation heard between governments officials concerning their problems of trying to find a way to peace for the people and a way to find a stoppage of the fall of their money markets and unemployment and a stoppage to the revolutions between the dissatisfied and the dissatisfied, and to find a way to be able to eat and to keep the hungry eating from his own labor. Pacification is offered, but does not satisfy. With nation rejecting peace offer, a nation laughing, making mock of you, ever seeking peace and friendship. As it is written, peace is desired more than fine gold. Now see all of these things coming to pass. Things that we did not know that we would see. We did not know that we would see such a Goliath, such a giant falling. Goliath who had defiled the nations of the earth to come out and fight with them, as Goliath did before Israel. Now nation make mock of the great giant of the earth, America, the sword within and the sword without. Trouble seemed to have no end. And with tens of millions of free black slaves crying for freedom, justice, and equality from the white slave master. And the white slave master wanted to deceive the black slave and make promises that the white slave master does not intend to fulfill to free the black slave. And with the free black slave, thinking that he will eat some crumbs of freedom, justice, and equality from his white slave master, the free black slave will be greatly deceived. The white slave master cannot free himself from his enemies, not to think of this white slave master freeing himself from the consequences of the dissatisfied world. So with the worst yet to come, I said to you, my black brothers and black sisters, fly to Allah, come follow me. There are some intelligent white people who knows and who will bear witness with me that the worst is yet to come. Look at Texas, There's a warden at Satane prison house who send the believers Muslims to the temple so that they may listen to the truth, which is their starvation today to accept the truth. I think that this is a very wise warden. It is like the Arab general, the Bible, we see the general knew that the Arab was wrong and that Elijah was right. The general took 400. Elijah falls and hid and fed them with the bread in order to save them from hunger while they was in captivity. I said to you, leaders, remember the above says of this writing that the worst is yet to come. As the Bible teaches us, that time will come that have never come before, and that those who understood, their hearts will be filling them with fear, and their eyes will go away in the hole. For looking at things that they saw coming on his people, the trouble, destruction, and the pledge. Look at the earthquakes that are taking place. Those earthquakes on the way here. We are feeling the earth shaking under our feet across the country. As the Holy Quran prophesies to us, you will hear it coming from a distant place. America beset all around now with trouble and destruction which have happened. America thought that she was immune to the trouble and destruction which are going on in other nations. Now the same trouble and destruction that you read of as happening in other countries and to other nations, the same trouble and destruction with their evil and gruesome sounds are knocking on the door of America.